Guys, nakapin nga ba yung link na sinend sa GC?
Anong GC ba yun? Hindi nga ako familiar dito eh. Tsaka sino ba nag-add sa atin dito?
Oh my gosh! Sino nag-add sa atin dito? Eh tayong 4 lang naman nandito ah.
Hey nako guys, what if pindutin na lang natin yung link? Maray mo, may premyo dito. Sayang din yun.
Eh paano kung virus yan? Baka maapektuhan pa yung mga personal informations ko.
Oo nga. Baka mamaya magkaroon ng issue ng wala sa oras.
Hay nako guys. Masyado kasi kayong kabado. Eh, wala rin namang mawawala kung pipindutin natin eh. Tsaka, isa pa, nag-curious din ako kung ano to eh.
Hay, sige na nga, pindutin ko na nga. Kung di ko lang kayo kaibigan eh.
O sige, ako rin. Wala namang mawala sa akin. Basta pag may nangyari, magtutulungan tayo ha.
Ayan, goods naman pala eh. Tara na, pindutin na natin.
Alright, let's go.
Ano ito? Nasaan tayo? Sabi ko na sa inyo, may masamang mangyayari sa atin eh. Ay.
Ano to? Paano na yung kinakain ko?
Wala, ba't ganito? Paano tayo napunta dito? Pinindot lang naman natin yung link. Buti na lang naka-OOTD ako.
OMG. What am I wearing? Tsaka, nag-makeup lang ako kanina. Saan tayo?
Ayan kasi, ayaw niyo maniwala sa akin eh. Sabi ko sa inyo, masama talaga ako tungkol dun sa link na yun eh. Yes.
Oo, ako rin eh. Sima talaga ako tugod dun sa link na yun. Kaya nyo kasi maniwala sa amin eh, Franz.
Okay. You're right. And we're wrong. Sorry ah.
Hello,
Guys,
this is Jumanji.
narinig ba kayo?
Welcome to the world of Romanticism, a literary movement that began in the late 18th century, ending around the middle of the 19th century.
Hala, sunod tayo sa
Romanticism is
tayo?
a reaction to the Industrial Revolution, the social and political norms of the Age of Enlightenment, and the scientific rationalization of nature, all components of modernity. Game instructions. You will be given 20 minutes to explore during the Romantic period. Then you'll have to find the famous works of that certain artist. And at the end, you have to identify which artist you are portraying.
Romanticism affected arts and culture in general. Its main feature was a reaction against the 18th century and the Age of Reason. In fact, Romanticism of the Romantic movement was a reaction against the rationalism of the 18th century. During the Romantic period, changes in various fields took place in philosophy, politics, religion, literature, painting, and music. All these changes were represented, articulated, and symbolized by the English Romantic poets and arts. Oh my gosh! Paano ko nasabi yun?
The movement emphasizes intense emotion as an authentic source of aesthetic experience, placing new emphasis on such emotions such as fear, horror, terror, and awe, especially that experience in confronting the new aesthetics, categories of the sublime and beauty of nature. Lo! Paano ko rin nasabi yun?
So, what are we waiting for? Mag-explore na tayo.
Hello! I am a true romantic artist. I was born on April 26, 1798 in Charenton, St. Maurice, France, and died in August 13, 1863 in Paris. I am the greatest French romantic painter whose use of color was influential in the development of both Impressionist and Post-Impressionist painting. My paintings illustrated in swirling emotions such as death, agony, love, justice, life, leadership, reformation, revolt, and battle. I also focus on my painting with exotic subjects, vibrant colors, and emotions that truly define Romanticism. I use bright and beautiful colors that inspired artists around me, and still amaze people who took at my work today. I really focus heavily on individual's experience, and though a passionate person. One of my famous painting is The Liberty Leading the People. It is to commemorate the July Revolution in Paris to remove Charles X, the restored Bourbon king, from the throne. and I started the painting after witnessing the violent escalation of protests against a set of restrictive ordinances that Charles X issued on July 26, 1830. By the way, before I forget, I am Eugene Delacroix, an artist from the Romanticism era.
I am an English romantic painter, born in Suffolk. I am known as principally for my landscape paintings of Dedham Vale, the area surrounding my home, known as Constable Country, which I invested with an intensity of my affection. I should paint my own places best. I wrote to my friend John Fisher in 1821. Painting is but another word for feeling. My most famous paintings include Dedham Vale of 1802 and the Hay Wain of 1821. My paintings were geared towards nature and glorious skies, rivers and streams, hot summer days, clouds, livestock, small towns, and everyday people coming and going on about their daily lives. Although my paintings are now among the most popular and valuable in British art, I was never financially successful and did not become a member of the establishment until I was elected to the Royal Academy at the age of 52. I sold more paintings in France than in my own native England. Oh, so I am John Constable.
I'm a French romantic painter and lithographer. Despite my early death at the age 32, I'm one of the most prominent influences on French Romanticism. My education began in sporting art and classical figure compositions. My best-known work is The Wrath of Medusa, wherein the painting depicts a moment of the wreck of the French naval vessel Frégate Méduse, wherein 147 people were set adrift on a constructed raft. 132 of them died, and 15 survived in the 13 days before the rescue. For those who survived, they endured a lot, including starvation, dehydration, and cannibalism. These works are valued for their realism in documenting psychological traumas combined with bravura style that boldly emphasizes their discomfort. Again, I'm Theodore Jericho. I bid you farewell.
I am known for my expressive colorizations, imaginative landscapes, and turbulent, often violent marine paintings. I was born during the storm cloud of the 23rd of April 1775 in Covent Garden, London. I studied in the Royal Academy of Arts from 1789, and at the age of 15, I held my first exhibit work. I saw the death of my own father with my own eyes and have become more pessimistic, morose, and my gallery fell into despair and neglect, which have inspired me to intensify my art. In the academy where I have nourished my gift, there stands my notable painting, The Fighting Temeraire. I made this piece of work during 1838 and it is now at the National Gallery, London, since I have bequeathed it to the nation in 1851. I was at the height of my career when I came to paint this picture. I explored subjects of the weather, the sea, and the effect of life. I have spent much of my life near the River Thames and did many paintings of ships and waterside scenes, both in watercolor and oils. But this work, my work, which I call Darling, was voted as the nation's favorite painting. I used various techniques but mainly I used oil on canvas as a medium. It depicts a 98-gun HMS Temeraire, one of the last second-rate ships of the line to have played in the Battle of Trafalgar, being towed up the Thames by a paddle-wheel steam tug in 1838 towards its final berth in Rotherhithe to be broken up for scrap. Behind Temeraire, there is a silver of moon casts abeam across the river, which symbolizes the commencement of the new industrial era. And now I leave you with Light is Therefore Color. Thou shall address me as William Turner.
To all portrayers, congratulations! You all have accomplished the task that have been given to you. As for your prize, you will all return to your normal lives.
Pero wait, may kulang pa ng artist ah.
Yes, you're correct. One artist is missing, and that is me, Francisco Goya. After a severe illness in 1793, I became especially imaginative in my paintings. I started to paint and reflect to the historical reality of my times, particularly the Spanish War of Independence. I was a Spanish Romantic painter, printmaker, and portrayist, born March 30, 1746 in Aragon, to a lower middle-class family. I am regarded as the greatest painter of the Romantic period, the last great painter whose art, thought, and observation were balanced and combined to form a faultless unity. My paintings are full of obscure images and changes of tonalities expressing great drama. I portrayed the horrors of war through images full of suffering, pain, and death, where the victims were always common people. I shared with many of the Romantic painters a more free handling of paint, which emphasized in the new prominence of the brushstroke and impasto, which tended to be represented in neoclassicism under a self-effacing finish. Saturn devouring his sun is one of my well-known creations. It depicts the great myth of the Titan Cronus. In Roman, it is Saturn, who, fearing that he would be overthrown by one of his children, and ate each one upon their birth. The work is one of the 14 black paintings that I painted directly on the walls of my house. It was transferred to canvas after my death and has since been held in the Museo del Prado in Madrid.
So, are we done here? Ay, panaginip lang pala. Akala ko totoo.
Nangungut ata ako ah. Buti na lang di siya totoo.
Kinabahan ako dun ah. Akala ko totoo mang nangyari.
Ha? Panaginip lang yun?
Ano? Hindi
Hindi siya panaginip.